the mind mastery framework that nobody teaches you. Napoleon Hill said, the mind is nothing more than the sum total of one's habits. Now let's get into this framework. A lot of us want to be good at something, whether you want to be good at making money, whether you want to be good at sports, whether you want to be good at the sciences, mathematics, whatever you want to be good at, engineering, anything like that. In order to master anything in this life, you have to first master your mind, because your mind is the control center. It's like if you were playing a game, your mind is the controller. It's what makes everything happen, right? So you want to master the controls so you can then master the game. The first step to achieving anything of value starts with mastery of the mind. When you can master your mind, then you have the capability of mastering anything you set your mind to. What does mental mastery look like? When you can control your appetite, your thoughts, your sexual desires, your emotions, and the energy you allow in your life. Now, just by me saying that, a lot of y'all is thinking, man, that's a very hard thing to do. And it is. It is. That is why very few people achieve mastery in life. That is why very few people have control over their reality. But we all can do it, and it's possible for every single one of us if we want it bad enough, which we should. If we want change in our life, if we want a certain reality, we have to make the changes to our mind so we can make that reality real. But it's so hard because as humans, ever since we're a child, we have things hardwired into us. Our impulses, our coping mechanisms, emotions, thought patterns, like these things are hardwired at a young age. So when we grow up and don't have the best examples, don't have the best programming, it's hard to achieve a desired reality for ourselves. And we find ourselves always frustrated and struggling to make change. When we lack self-control, we allow those impulses and emotions to bring us down to the level of animals. The most popular religious teachings, spiritual teachings, all stress self-control, because without it, we will stumble in any direction the wind blows, right? When we lack self-control, one person can say one word and we're automatically angry. We automatically looking for revenge. We automatically looking for a comeback. And it could be anything. You might smell something and be like, oh, I need me a donut. You feel me? That's impulse. That's lack of self-control. Or you might see a woman and she look gorgeous to you. Now all of a sudden, your horny nature, your animal nature kick in and be like, all right, this how I'm gonna do it. This how I'm gonna talk to her. This how I'm gonna get her over to the crib. This how I'm gonna smash. And that's your whole goal, right? And it may even get it may even get in the way of a lot of the things you have going on. That's a lack of self-control. And the things that I'm talking about are the hardest things to gain control over. Sexual desire, appetite, right? Thought pattern, negative thinking. This journey of self-mastery is an everyday battle. Every day we are battling with ourselves. And most don't definitely decide which version of ourselves we want to win. So we drift along, allowing the days to conquer us instead of conquering the days. If you haven't already liked, commented, and subscribed, you should do that if you found value in this video up to this point. But anybody in the comment section, I want y'all to let me know, have y'all ever felt like life was just beating you up? Like every day it seemed like the days is getting tougher and tougher to get through, right? It almost seems like there's an opposition that is out to get you, an enemy that is trying to keep you in the state that you're in so you can't elevate, right? And that enemy is your lower version of yourself, your lower frequency, right? the one that gives into the negative habits, the one that gives into the negative thinking, the negative talking, right? The one that's lazy, the one that can't finish anything, the one that procrastinates. That's the version of yourself that's holding you down and holding you back and making your days harder to make it through. So we want to change the narrative of our life and stop allowing the days to punish us or conquer us. A better term, conquer us. But instead, we conquer the day. We make it our mission to make this day the best day ever. And we do the same thing tomorrow, and we do the same thing the day after that. It's a constant battle, it's a constant fight. But once you are consistent and persistent enough with it, you can start to crystallize into that positivity, that spiritual elevation, that God mind, right? To where you could come across a major loss, have a major failure, get extremely embarrassed, and be able to bounce back like nothing happened. Because you're in control of yourself, right? You have mastered your mind, so you don't allow thoughts of guilt, thoughts of limitation or lack to creep into your mind and poison your life, right? You control what comes in and what goes out. And in return for that, your life mirrors exactly that. My journey, personally, has been a slow cook process because it takes time to crystallize your mind into being the victor instead of the victim, especially when you come from a life of full-blown bad habits and bad thinking patterns. So I say this so that you guys that's watching this don't get frustrated on your journey, because you can't get frustrated when you've been living a certain way for 20 plus years, and now all of a sudden you're trying to make a change, and you expect in a year or 2 years for things to just be reversed completely, right? That's not how it works. Like, you really gotta work at this every day, and it takes time. Just like it took time to establish your negative way of life, it's gonna take time to establish a positive way of life. You just gotta keep going and have the faith to know that one day we're gonna progress to a point to where the stuff that we used to do, it's not even a thought no more. Like, we don't give in to none of the stuff that we used to give into. We don't even have the same conversations we used to have, right? We don't even look at life the same way we used to. And that's growth. And that's evidently the mission of all of our lives, is to evolve and expand, right? To come from this lower state of ignorance into a state of mastery and God nature, right? Of being at peace with growth and with elevation, right? Whatever that comes with, because it's going to come with a plethora of good and bad things, right? But in the end, you're getting more equipped. You're getting better at this life. It's really a game. Like, you have to play it. You know those, I know a lot of y'all play video games, 2K, Call of Duty, Fortnite, whatever. You have to really put time into them games, hours and days of time to master the game and be that good at the game to where you rarely lose. It's the same way with life. We have to put the time in order to change the reality or the game that we're playing and change the outcome, right? We are in control of our outcomes. The reason we are what we are today is because it's the results of what we did in the past, the decisions we made, the habits we have, right? The thoughts we have, the emotions we have. That's why we are what we are today. And in order to get further along and progress, we have to progress in our thinking, progress in our habits, progress in what we do on a day-to-day basis and the decisions we make. The habits that take up most of your time are the same things that scope your mind. We have to take a deep dive into the habits we indulge in on a day-to-day basis and see if they correlate with the life we desire. For example, if you spend all day watching and talking about other people, then your thoughts will surround the lives of other people instead of your life. If you spend all day sitting on your behind, when you are asked to do something, you will get irritated because your mind is not sculpted to be proactive. Think about this and take the time to examine yourself. That last part is major, and you can't master your mind if you don't examine yourself. Every day, you have to constantly be examining, where can I get better? Where can I improve? Where am I going wrong? Right? That's when you examine yourself, you allow God to correct your actions and your way of living. And when you allow God to correct you, now you can progress. That's all it takes. It don't matter what you've been through, what you've done that you feel like you can't come back from. As long as you've learned your lesson and you've corrected your behavior, you can now progress and elevate to a higher level. And another key thing that I said was that your habits have to be in line or aligned with the life you desire. So if you want to be a doctor, you want to be a professional at something, your habits have to surround that. Like for anybody that was a sports player when they was growing up or wanted to be in the NBA, people would always say, man, if you want to make it to a professional status in sports, you have to live, eat, and sleep that sport, right? You have to be almost have tunnel vision on that goal specifically to where you can't even get distracted with girls. You can't get distracted with drugs. You can't get distracted with certain things that's going to stress you out and things of that nature, right? Because your habits have to be in line with your desire and what you want. And that's it. That could be for anything. So we have to make sure we're establishing habits for ourselves that line up with the person that we want to become. And we can start doing that today. If you want to master your mind, you must simply change your habits. Habits that expand you and improve who you are. Decide definitely on what you want and implement habits that correlate with your desire. And I have 6 universal habits that will influence positive growth towards your journey of mastering your mind. The first habit are reading books that you can learn from. I'm not taking away from people who like to read storybooks or like to read books, you feel me, for the nuance, for the story. I'm not taking nothing away from that. If that's what you like to do, keep doing it. But implement books that you can actually learn from on a real level, such as nonfiction books, self-help books, religious books, right? Ancient teachings, ancient wisdom, knowledge of self. You have to start implementing these books into your routine so you can start figuring out the specifics on how you can change your reality, change your thinking, change your perspective and how you look at things, right? 2, exercise. Exercise alone is huge on mastering your mind because you have to think about it. You're pushing your body to almost complete exertion every single day or 5 days out the week, right? So that's naturally building up a mental toughness to where your tolerance for pain, your tolerance for challenge goes up because you're challenging yourself every day. You're challenging your body every day. So to a person that works out 7 days a week, cardio, you feel me, may lift weights or whatever, that person can work a job that's 40 hours, 50 hours and be completely fine. Don't get tired easily, you feel me, super energized, right? They mind don't get clouded. Vice versa, a person who doesn't work out a lot and sits on their behind a lot and their free time is spent behind TV and sitting on the couch or laying in the bed or not really moving, right? The same person that's working the same job is going to get burnt out much quicker and going to mentally give up quicker, right? So when you train your body, you're ultimately training your mind also. Number 3, eating tonic foods. And when I say tonic, tonic is just the opposite of toxic, right? Foods that are rich in vitamins and minerals that we need to nourish the body. Clean foods, right? Now, this one is very hard to do. Very hard. Probably one of the hardest next to sexual desires and controlling your appetite. Because food is like the number one drug in America, essentially. I would say the whole world, but specifically in America where they sell the most toxic foods. Foods are a drug. So when you're so used to eating these foods that don't have a lot of nutrients in it, but they taste so good, your body craves that food. But you're not even realizing, yeah, you may be full, you may be eating, but your body isn't getting nourished. So your energy levels is off, right? Your oxygen levels are off, your blood levels is off, because your body is not getting proper nourishment. So when we begin to change that, especially if you're in America, you're gonna find it very hard to find clean and good foods that's good for you, because of capitalism and money being the root of the reason they sell this fake, cloned, laboratory made foods. America just has a bad practice when it comes to cultivating and growing food. So you just have to do your due diligence and do the best that you can, and ultimately get to a point to where you can grow your own foods to ensure that you're getting the right nutrients for your body. But we got to start somewhere. So just start with the little things and try to take as many toxic things out of your diet as you possibly can. 4, listening to things that only motivate you and inspire you. For example, if it's a song that you play a lot and the song makes you think of the people you lost or the times when you was at your lowest, right? And it starts to bring a surge of negative emotions, and now your day is kind of thrown off, now your mood thrown off, now you're not really in a mood to talk like that, right? It takes a toll on your day. You shouldn't be listening to that song. You shouldn't be listening to music like that, because it doesn't inspire positivity in you. It inspires negativity in you. When you do your research and figure out how powerful sound is, to the point where it can change the chemistry of your body, a certain frequency being on and a certain beat, a certain sound, you have to be careful of what you lend your ear to. TV, right? Social media. You have to start. This is your whole diet, right? Not just the food that goes in your mouth, but the food that goes in your brain, through your ears, through your mouth, through your eyes, right? That all plays a part in sculpting your mindset. So you wonder why, especially if you from the trenches or you from the hood, you wonder why dudes walk around so standoffish and so aggressive and so just on edge, just ready to pop off at any moment. I bet you the music that they listen to correlates with that type of behavior. So it's important that we feed ourselves with things that's going to inspire growth and positivity in our lives, right? Because that's our mission, is to grow and elevate. So let's listen and eat things and look at things that elevate us. Simple, but it's hard to do. But just because it's hard doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. 5, prayer. Prayer is a practice of gratitude. So when you pray, you take the light off of the negativity in your life, the circumstances, your environment, right? You take the light off of that and you shine the light on something positive. Your creator, the one that created you, right? The world that he put you in, to where you're connected to every living organism in the solar system on the planet, right? And you give thanks. You show gratitude not only through prayer, but prayer is a big part. It's a way of grounding yourself in something that is infinite, in something that knows all things, that is all powerful, right? Everything that we can ever need to understand something, to get an answer for something, to to do something, he has everything that we need. So we make it a constant thing to pray to him every day and just thank him for that opportunity, because we could be out here all driving alone, right? And a lot of us are, because we don't know that we can connect to something that's higher than ourselves. Prayer keeps you in a state of being grateful. So when you're in a state of being grateful, you don't overeat, right? Because that's almost like a spit in the face to the creator, because you don't need that much food to survive. You're overindulging. You're eating in excess. Just being in a state of gratitude, things don't get you as mad as it would get another person, because you're grateful just for being here. So it don't gotta be perfect. It don't gotta be all pretty and peaches and cream for you to be happy, for you to be okay and peaceful within yourself. And lastly, fasting. Fasting is something that's becoming more popular, and I love that it is becoming more popular. But fasting is extremely important. Just like I was talking about eating in excess. When you eat a lot, when you eat multiple times a day, you don't give your body enough time to actually digest and break down the food that you just ate, right? So the body can be digesting food that you've ate a week ago, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, and it still hasn't all left your system. And you're still eating multiple meals a day, because it got to break down more and more and more, and it never gets a time to rest, right? So just like if you drive a car 100,000 miles and you ain't never did no maintenance to it, it's gonna start to break down. And so the body begins to break down and starts to attack itself, right? It's a machine, a perfect machine that God gave us, but we ruin this machine and we corrupt this machine when we start taking advantage of it. But fasting, when you fast, you improve your willpower. You improve your power to control yourself, because it's a natural thing to get hungry. It's a natural thing. So when you deprive yourself of what you need to survive, now think about a job, think about a project, think about a business, right? Think about anything that's considered something tough or something hard to do. But I'm fasting. Like I control my appetite. I control my hunger. I don't just see a burger on TV and be like, damn, I'm hungry as hell. Right? So all this other stuff is little, small to me. Right? You can handle a lot more because you're mastering your appetite, you're mastering your body, and ultimately you're mastering your mind, where all things are rooted. So life just naturally becomes easier. Now, I'm on this journey with y'all, you feel me? If y'all want to talk to me in the comment section, you feel me, and let's have some dialogue, let's help each other grow, we can do that for sure. So make sure y'all leave a like, comment, and subscribe if y'all got value from this video. I'm on a journey just like y'all, right? So you're gonna fall short. It's gonna be a long journey. I've probably been on this journey of self-improvement for like maybe 3 years, right? And I progressed tremendously, but I have so much work to do, so much more to learn, so much more to conquer about myself, that I fall short just like anybody else. So I don't want y'all to look at me as trying to portray a perfect example, right? Because I'm not perfect at all, in the slightest. But my goal is to always grow and elevate and evolve. And I know if you watching this video, that's your goal too. So let's do it together. Let's do it collectively. Let's help each other grow and be better for not only ourselves, but for our family, for our community, and for our world as a whole. I hope this video benefited you guys greatly, and I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace, love, positivity, all of that good stuff. We gone.